Very good morning to all of you. This is the third session. In this third session, I would like to explain you about how to prepare a sectional elevation for workshop building. In the first session, we have prepared plan. In the second session, we prepared elevation. And in this session, purely we concentrate on how to prepare sectional elevation for the given section AA. So you can observe here. So this is a section given. So it is written in the line diagram. We have to have a section at AA. So this has been marked here. So this is a section AA. So we will analyze this. So before entering into the problem, we must know the construction details. And so these are the construction details they have given. So you can see these are very important now. Foundations for columns and foundations for walls. There are two types of excavations we have to have. One is for columns, one is for wall. For columns we provide footings, and then for footings this is a excavation we have to have 1.2 meter wide, nothing but 1200 mm wide and 1500 mm deep, with concrete bed of 1:4:8, 150 mm thick. And foundation for walls 750 mm wide and 750 mm deep, with concrete bed of 1:4:8, 150 mm thick. A coarse double masonry of width 600 mm and depth of 600 mm. In the basement, above the ground level, dressed with side stone masonry in cement mortar 1:6, 450 mm wide, 600 mm depth, including 150 mm DPC of ratio 1:3:6. So this is about foundation and the basement. In superstructure, this is a burnt brick masonry of cement mortar 1:6 proportion. Thickness of wall is 230 mm. And at sill, we have to lay 100 mm thick PCC of ratio 1:3:6. RCC lintel is of 200 mm thick of cement concrete 1:2:4. So these things we have studied anyhow. So we will see one by one how we can incorporate these construction details with specifications. So I will take a reference line now. We will treat that as ground level. So I will write here itself. So this will be convenient to. So it will be convenient. So this is parallel. Okay, fine. So this is a reference line. So I will draw a reference line first. So this is the width of. This is the line which is coinciding with the wall. And I have to measure 9.4 meter in this direction. That means so this will be 18.9 to the scale. Sorry, 18.8 to the scale. Here, while writing this, you must cover this with the paper so that you can visualize very easily. So this is a section we have to see. From this end, the section is passing through this window and again on this window. So window frames are visible, and here the door is visible, wall is visible, again D1 is visible. Through that, this window is also visible. D1 is visible. So these are we have to indicate here. Again here I have to include thickness of wall, that is of 0.6. So mark this, and here also it will be 0.6. So this is about thickness of wall, and here I have to indicate a height of 4.25 into 2, that will be 8.5 at this point, and again here also 8.5. And mark the midpoint from this, so it measures 20, so mark 10. So from this end it measures 6.25, nothing but 12.5 here. It will be like this. So here these points are marked and these are extended like this. Again from this end, so I have to mark so this window is visible, so this window is marked at a height of the lintel level is at a height of 2.2 meter from this floor finish. 2.2 nothing but 4.4. So this end, and here also 4.4. So these are the levels. Okay, this is the level. And from this end I have to measure height of 1.2. You can see here window of size 2 into 1.3 is about 2.6. 2.6 is marked from this end, 2.6, and here also 2.6. So this is the sill level, so to mark here. This is the lintel level, is written off height of 2.2, and it will be 4.4. Right. From this end, so it is important to mark sill level and lintel level and thickness of lintel and thickness of a sill. A sill thickness is 100 mm, so I have to mark 0.2 here. Mark this, and here also 0.2. So mark it as concrete. Okay, and then lintel of thickness 1, RC lintel of 200 mm thick. So that means you have to mark 0.4 here to the scale. And here you have to indicate the window frames. Why? Because the section is passing the section line, that is AA passing on window, so we have to show the frames. Right, this is about outer wall. And then here from this end, this chajja is visible at the outer side, and there also chajja must be projected. So here we have to mark 1.2, that is 600 mm. So right, and 0.1 at free end, very little one. And here it will be, so you can read out the chajja, RCC charge of 600 mm wide, 150 mm thick at support. 150 means I have to mark 0.3 here. So 0.3. So this must be joined like this, and we have a tapered section like this. And here also you have to mark 1.2 and 0.1 at the free end and 0.3 at the fixed end. It will be like this. And this is also made up of RCC, and there will be reinforcements. We have to provide reinforcement. Anyhow, don't bother much about these things. So this will be made up of concrete. Okay, fine. So this is about. And next, now you have to position these doors. What we have to do is just we have to project the lines, but anyhow, so this is parallel with this. So just so you have to indicate, you have to measure 3 meters, that means 6 meters. So it will give so we have to place corbel here. So we will mark this. The walls will be, the inner walls will be extended up to this point. The remaining will be left as it is. So what we have to do is, a very easy thing is measure the distance from this point. So it will be 3.5. So measure this distance here. Otherwise, from this end I have to mark D1, 1 meter into 2.2. 1 means here you have to mark 2, and then from this end you have to mark 2.2, 2.2, nothing but 4.4. So this much you have to mark here, and again to join this. So this will be a door provided there. And next, adjacent to that, we will see wall, and then again we have to provide a door there. So better you measure the distance in the plan, it will be very easy. Why? Because the scale is same. So it measures 10.3. 10.3 is measured, and this is marked here, and you have to extend this up to a height of 4.4. So measure this 4.4, the same level. So you measure the distance once again, it has 2 meters. So this will be another door. Okay, fine. It's also over. And beside to that, you measure distance from this end. So it is measuring 3.5. So measure the distance from this end. So it will be 3.5. From this end, you have to measure another 2 meters. So this will be the another door you have to provide. See, these doors can be marked like this because it is made up of wood. So this is how we can mark it out. Right. So you can draw the door frames here itself. And here we have to mark the trusses. So these are the trusses we have to mark. And we have to use the gusset plates not to connect these angles and struts. So you can use different types of trusses. So this can be divided into, again, this measures 10, the midpoint is 10, so you can measure 5 from here, and this is 15. So I will connect a strut here. This is a purely compression member, like this. And from this end, so you can connect you can give a diagonal support to this. So these may be welded connection or bolted connection. So if you weld, we will going to use the gusset plates like this. So this is the ridge point, and again here also we have to use gusset plates. Usually at this point we will place a cobblestone inside to receive these steel truss. So these of stone, so you can mark here itself, these defined as corbel. These trusses can be projected like this, so we have to remove these things. So purlins placed, and this will be projected up to Chajja point, Chajja line. This will be like this. marble, and this is a burnt brick masonry. It will be marked above. So I have to mark burnt brick masonry by using this mini drafter. You can set 45 degree. So this is a 45 degree I can set. This is 0 point, and you can set like this. So this will be 45 degree. So you draw a double line. That is the indication of burnt brick masonry. Okay, and then here also right. This is how we can mark. See, this is the floor level we have taken. From this end at the bottom, it is given 20 mm thick over flooring bed of 100 mm thick. That means I have to provide a floor finish of 20 mm thick, and then 100 mm thick, nothing but in this scale it is 0.2 centimeter. So I have marked here. So this is the flooring, and this is the floor finish, and this is the bed, 100 mm thick bed I have provided. And from this end, so you have to mark, you have to project these lines. You have to project these lines once again. So this is the level. So this is the level I have to mark here, and from this end I have to provide 600 mm depth. This is the basement I have to provide. Dressed size stone masonry in cement mortar, 450 mm wide and 16 mm depth, including 150 mm DPC 136. That means in this 600 mm, 150 mm is of DPC, so that is 0.3. So here and here also to mark 0.3. Take a reference of these two lines, these 2 points. So mark here. So this will be of DPC. 150 mm thick. This is the basement level, so you can mark this. So these DPC is of concrete 1:3:6. Okay, this is fine, and then extend this line further up to 0.6 meter, is 1.2 in this 1.2 centimeter in this scale. And then after this I have to provide foundation for walls and foundation for columns. The trench excavation is about 1.5 meter deep for columns, that is for footing, and for foundation for walls it will be of 750 mm deep. Here we will get 2 types of foundation. One will be for columns, another will be for walls. So here, so I have to mark both. If it is visible, 0.75 meter, 1.5. You mark this such a way that 1.5, so must be adjusted here. So you can mark 0.75. So you take this as a midpoint, and from this end you have to mark 0.75. So 0.6, 0.75, right? 1.5. So this is the point, and this is the point. Extend these lines further towards the bottom. 750 mm wide and 750 mm deep, nothing but 750 means 1.5. I have to mark here, and here also you have to mark in the same way. So here in the basement, dressed stone masonry, 50 mm deep is all, a foundation for wall 750 mm wide and 70 mm deep, concrete bed 1:4, 150 mm thick, a coast double masonry of width 600 mm deep and 600 mm width and 600 mm depth. That means this is the width of this first course. Only one course is there, 600 mm width and 600 mm depth, and thickness of this PCC is about 150 mm thick, of ratio 1:4:8. And this is a trench excavation, so I will remove this. So this will be typical. So same thing can be mirror image here also. You can mark this. So this level can be transferred here. So this thickness of PCC is written here, of thickness 150 mm, of ratio 1:4:8, and then we have to write an offset of erase this excavation line. So this will be marked with the help of dotted lines. That means dotted and a thick line alternatively. This indicates a stone masonry. Okay, right. So this is about a basement and foundation for walls. And a typical, so this can be marked separately with the help of dotted lines. Why? Because that is not visible in this. So for columns we have to provide other foundation, but in this section it is not visible, so you can show that foundation with the help of dotted lines if it is required. Otherwise I will mark separately here. So that's of depth 1.2 meter, sorry 1.5 meter. 1.5 means 3. So I will treat this as the ground level from this end. So I have to mark 3, and here so I have to measure 1.2, I think, but 2.4. Again this will be 3. So mark like this. So this indicates the ground level. This will be ground level. So this is a trench for column or footing. And once again this can be shown here separately. 750 mm wide and 750 mm deep, nothing but 1.5. From this ground level itself, I have take this as the ground level. From this end it is measuring 1.5, so mark 1.5. From this end also it is measuring 1.5. So this will be the ground level. Okay. So you just mention this depth 1.2 meter, and this is measuring this will be 0.75, sorry, this is 1.5 meter, and width of this and width of this is different. I can read out here 1.20 meter, and this will be of 0.75 meter. Just mark out the reference lines, to include the details in this sectional elevation drawing, so you can mark out. So these are the different levels we have to show here, and this is the sill level, and this is the lintel level, and this is the roof level at the ends, and this is a ridge level. So I have to include all the construction details what they are given in the question paper. So write one by one. So this is the foundation level, and then this is so that is the foundation level I have marked, and then I have to incorporate these details. This okay, fine. Now so we will complete this drawing. So we have to write all the details. So we'll write the distance. This height of PCC is about 15 centimeter, nothing but 0.15 meter, 0.15 meter, and then depth of this what we call basement, the foundation is about from this to this it will be 0.6 meter, and from this end to the DPC, that is at ground level, so it is measuring about, so you can see here wall. This also bound brick masonry is about size stone masonry, cement 1:6 wide, 600 mm deep. So these are for 600 and these also 600, including thickness of DPC. So it will be 0.45 meter, and the thickness of this DPC is about 0.15 meter, and from this end a floor finish of 120 mm. Above that, so I have to mark height of a lintel. This is about 4.25 meter. 4.25 meter, and further I have to go 2 meter up to this level, up to the, sorry, this is the lintel level, sorry, this is 4.25 is wrong. So this lintel level is not 4.25, this is up to this point. So this is 4.25 up to this point. Right now we will write all the details. These of plinth level, or plinth level, or this is a floor finish level, floor finish level. So we will write the detail here itself. This will be this will be coursed rubble masonry, coursed rubble masonry of width 600, and here there's a coursed rubble masonry of cement mortar. Okay, fine, these all. And next, this will be basement of cement mortar 1:6, size stone masonry, dressed size stone masonry of cement mortar 1:6. And then this is a floor finished level FFL. So I have to write these details also here. So I'll mark this one here. This is of so you can see here a flooring. This is a floor bed of 100 mm thick, and then a 20 mm thick floor finish is provided here. So you can get like this. A floor finish of 20 mm, and this is a sill level, so you can mark here. So this is the foundation level, and this is the ground level. So we have to write like this. So this is the ground level, and this is the sill level, and this is the floor finish level, and this is the plinth level. And here another detail has to be written here. This is a DPC provided of thickness 150. It is mentioned. You can collect detail from here. 150 mm thick DPC of ratio 1:3:6. So here I will write DPC of ratio 1:3:6 of thickness 150 mm. And again here this is a lintel level, so I will write here itself lintel level, and this is a wall height at the ends, so I will write this is a, I will call it as roof level. So this is a sloped roof, and this is a ridge level. So I have written the height of wall or where the roof are placed. The height of the roof is about 2 meters. That is a sloped roof or pitched roof. So I have to write these details also. These are so I have to write one more thing in the roof, that is I have to cover this roof by providing AC sheets at the top. So I have to write another line here, so like this, and again from this end. So this will be the indication. So this will be AC sheet ridge. So these are AC sheet. And these truss is made up of number of ms angles are used of size 50 into 50 into 5 mm. So we'll write like this. So these are the truss members. I will write this as ms angle. And here it is not given in the question paper, so you can write like this: ms angles for rafters of size 50 into 50 into 5 mm. So this was about equal angles. So it is defined as a strut. If it is purely compression, then we'll call it as strut. And here also, if it is a purely compression, then we will call this as strut. And completely we will call this element is as a steel truss. So we'll write here itself steel truss. And these are the gusset plates we have provided, and these can be written as purlins. Purlins of size the same 50 into 50 into 5 mm. These are made of equal angles, so therefore the size is 50 into 50 into 5 mm. Here a corbel is placed. It is a stone placed. So these are defined as corbel. So these are the stones placed to receive the truss element in order to provide a support to the truss. That means meanwhile it avoids the thrust which is falling on the walls. That is the intention of providing this corbel. It is of stone. Again you can indicate this floor finish. This is the bed provided 100 mm thick. Over that I have to provide a floor finish of thickness 20 mm. It is written already, but I have to indicate like this. So right. And you have to mark the ridge. Ridge must be covered at the top. So like this. So that the rainwater should not enter inside. So we'll call this as ridge. Okay, right. So you write title for this. So this is sectional elevation at A. And these are the different foundations. This 1.2 meter. So this is excavation. For RC columns and footings. And this is for walls excavation for masonry walls. Right, I hope in this elevation we have included all the details. If there is any missing details, we have to write now. And you can mark the width of chajja is 0.6 meter. At the free end it is of 0.05 meter. At the fixed end it is of 0.15 meter. And this is, so I can use the same color, it will be better. So this will be a lintel of thickness, it is given RCC lintel of 200 mm thick, lintel of 200 mm thick of cement concrete 1:2:4. And one more element, structural element, that is sill, it is given at sill 100 mm thick of PCC 13, sorry, it is not PCC, this is cement concrete. Why? Because three proportions are given, 1:3:6. Sill of cement concrete 1:3:6, and it is having thickness 100 mm, 100 mm thick. Right, so this is sufficient. So you can mark this. These are the ground levels. So you can have a clear view now from the line diagram, and by referring this construction details and its specifications, we have prepared a plan in the first session. In the second session, we have prepared elevation, and in the third session, that means in this session, we have learned how to prepare section elevation for the given section line. This was about this session. And one more thing, we have to mark some of the details, like very important things. That is, you have to mark north line on the top right corner. So we'll mark here itself. So this will be north. And schedules of openings must be written here. So this is given, and we have to count number of doors, number of windows, a number of ventilators, and it must be written here. So here, this is how we can prepare schedules of openings: doors, windows, ventilators. If anything extra is there, you can add here. So from the plan, you just count down number of rolling shutters. The first one is only one, that is at the entrance. So you write here the remark as rolling shutter. Rolling shutter. And the second one, D1, we have 3 numbers of doors. Those are the main doors inside. and D2 is of 2, windows W1 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 8, totally 8 numbers of W1. W2 about 2, V1 is about 3, V2 is about 2. So this is schedules of openings, and so this much is sufficient to write drawing. So you can visualize the whole thing. So you can see the plan. So this is the plan we have prepared, and after that we have prepared an elevation. So this is elevation, and then in the third session we prepared this. That means in this session we have prepared a sectional elevation, and we have incorporated all the construction details. If anything missing, we have to incorporate there, and this is the schedules of openings. This ends your third session, and at this stage you are able to write, or you are able to prepare workshop building plan, elevation and sectional elevation with all construction details. This ends up your session. Oh, thank you.